A lot of my writing delves into a bunch of different categories, but lately I find myself writing a lot about or questioning masculinity. What is masculinity? So this next poem is about that, and it's ties in the story, a very old story of Pinocchio. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy, and the real boys were making asses of themselves, cleaving through carnival rides and coveting cotton candy until festival grounds became botched, riding young bucks round and round the merry-go, trample on marigolds like their mothers didn't watch, playing pretend with heavy weapons, Nerf wars, fingers pointed into 21 gun salutes, ripe for the picking like stone fruits, confided, pressurized, materialized into a clay, shaping into a whale belly swell of unspoken spirits, shipwrecks assumed to be unsalvageable, broken and torn sails left like carnival tents and discarded uniforms. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy, but real boys still had puppet strings. Flying high on fishing lines, stacking vertebrae on tall spines out of line. Role-playing 5 o'clock shadow with free choice, branching stories, yet the tree has been climbed 20 times over by forefathers who hung tire swings from tired wings, hoping to hold the weight of boyhood like a man should. But the swing sat empty as boys took their plastic bodies and forged action figurines, storing themselves in the basement drainage sessions of COD in HD LED flat screen, crossing their eyes into split screen, consolidating in consoles. Calling out code names that were all the same, saying, "You are alpha." Dripping saliva from the gaping hole told of how much the world owes to men. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. But do real boys grow up to be real men? Adorned in a brazen suit of armor, boyhood thrown away in a smoldering fire, leaving behind nothing but steel gazes, bestial forms. And when their matted manes cover their faces, when they see hooves where their hands should be, will they ask their fathers, is this what manhood feels like? Is this the softness only calluses know? Cahill Gibran said that work is love made visible, but I cannot feel my fingers underneath the hardness of horseshoe. Father, is life a burden I have to carry on all fours? Is this something I must carry alone? I've been trained to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I've been trained to be alone, but I don't want to be alone. Their answer, sitting under buck tooth, under wetted tongue, is it as satisfying as the carnival rides and Hot Wheels commercials? Will they look their sons like gift horses in the mouth? Will they shrug instead of hug? Will they say, walk it off? As if childhood was a disease spat out and then coughed up. And if the world doesn't cough up the greatness promised, do boys don the jadedness of lone wolves? As the nightmares marinating in mental spaces start bleeding red. Reality, if you ask me, the disease that plagues society is not the highlighting of mental illness. No, it is the whiting out of masculinity as boys become butchers. Boys become butchers. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. And I would tell him, you were already a son, shining bright as the star your father wished upon, taken into hands that cut and sanded wood into boyishness, a form fitting the inclinations of building love. You were already something out of nothing. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. But before there was a Pinocchio, there was only a tree. Some days, that's all I wish I could be. Thank you.